Hey, Mark Rodriguez here, and you're watching America's #1 cure for insomnia, the Diving Cutter Wrestling Podcast. And with me are
Jack Knives from Jack Knives Reviews.
And this is the one and only Johnny Rodriguez.
yeah, Wendy's kind of busy now, getting ready for work and stuff like that the next morning, so she's not here with the grandiose intro and stuff like that. I mean, who knows? She might drop in and say a smart ass remark here and there, but we're gonna start it off. So, anyways, today we're gonna be talking about WWE Elimination Chamber 2026 and all the events that happen in there. And as usual, before we start, we're gonna kind of go over random wrestling news here and there. Right off the top of my head, the two recent things that happened in AEW is that Tommaso Ciampa is now with them and everything, and he actually won the title against Mark Briscoe. He won I think it was a TNT title, but then he lost it like a week or so after to Kyle Fletcher. So a lot of it's like, what's the point then? And then where does Ciampa go from there? Like right off the bat, it was like, why even give him the title? Why even take the belt off of Briscoe then? And the second thing is the Inspiration, formerly known as the Iconics in WWE. They were known as the Inspiration in TNA. Now they're also here in AEW. And right off the bat, they lost their They lost their first match against I forgot their names, but it's Windsor and Jamie Hayter. Or they call it the Blazing Riders or something like that, whatever their tag team name is. But the thing is, it's not so much that the Inspiration lost, is that they lost like basically a one-sided squash match. So that's like, everyone's complaining it's a horrible way for them to get introduced and where do you go from there and that kind of thing. So that's kind of weird. You bring in this tag team that, for better or for worse, I mean, they're popular. I would never really call them like top tier, not even in WWE. They were just kind of there, but they're getting treated like they're like the Renegades here. You know what I mean? Like, but was it?
I mean,
They're Peyton Royce and Billy Kay, right?
Peyton Royce and Billy Kay, yes. They were doing really, really well in TNA. They were shown a lot of respect there. Granted, obviously they are still goofy, character-ish stuff. So I feel like the way they were probably introduced in AEW, they're going to focus a little more on the comedic style, like they did with WWE, which is fine. They're good enough that they could pull that off. Speaking of Alex Windsor, she recently beat Shuri for the New Japan Strong Women's title last night at the time of recording this. And what's interesting about that is not only, Alex Windsor being the New Japan Strong Women's title, they were at a show in England called Eve Queendom, I guess, too. I guess it's like a big show they had, as well as the return of Dakota Kai, now going by Charlie. She made her debut and won her debut match. The interesting thing to me is she lost the Shuri, who was the New Japan Strong and IWGP Women's Champion, lost her title to Alex Windsor, which is already interesting. But a week prior to that, she fought Athena, the Ring of Honor Women's Champion, and actually beat Athena clean. After the match, she grabbed the Ring of Honor title, held it up, looked at it, and looked at Athena and threw it at her. So there could potentially, since she did beat her clean, there could potentially be a receipt coming from Shuri to go after the Ring of Honor Women's title. And if you saw that match, it was a banger. It was a fantastic show from A to Z, with the also unfortunate last match of David Finlay in New Japan. But now he is in All Elite Wrestling with Gabe Kidd and Clark Connors, reforming the War Dogs, which I don't know if they're calling them the Bullet Club War Dogs, but considering David Finlay is the final leader of the Bullet Club, I hope that they actually do something with them, because if it's anything like they did with Jay White, I'm not putting my hopes up. Granted, I would love for them to do something with it, but all these people are like, man, they're going to have a Bullet Club, Civil War. I'm like, if they didn't do it with Jay White when they literally had the name Bullet Club legally okay to use, I don't think they're going to do something like that. But if they do the proper way with the War Dogs, they could actually do something pretty dominant and cool with them, because they're all young, hungry, great wrestlers who obviously, are cut from the same cloth. You've seen Gabe Kidd in action. You know how good he is. Clark Connors has been in AEW for a while. And David Finlay, he's just a badass. He doesn't give a shit what anyone thinks. I'm curious to see what's going to happen with this kind of shift. It does bum me out that the Bullet Club is no more. I'm always going to be ride or die with Bullet Club, but it's just, it is kind of a weird change that things are happening there. And then in New Japan, there's a lot of things coming up, like the New Japan Cup, Cinderella tournament over in Stardom. There's a couple things that are interesting, but also in WrestleMania is right around the corner, and we got a couple things to look forward to there. But I'm going to be at WrestleCon in WrestleMania weekend and on the Raw after WrestleMania. So I already got my tickets for that, as well as going to the Stardom show in Vegas. So I'll be sure to have a lot of photos for you guys to check out once I
was gonna
get
say, be
back.
sure to take photos and so you could put them in there and all that good
Yeah.
stuff.
When I come back, hopefully maybe we do a predictions before Mania. I don't know. When they get the card finalized, who knows? But anyway, that's pretty much all the news we have right now of anything.
All right, guys. So starting off, the Elimination Chamber didn't have any dark matches or anything. I guess just a lot of talking that Jack told us about, like describing the chamber and all that. And just real quick, I haven't really seen these in years since, I don't know, 2016 or whatever. So I guess the rules are that 4 people go into the random chamber cages, 2 people start the match, and then after so and so minutes, like the chambers open at random, so you don't know which one it is until they come out, and you eliminate them by pinning them, each one or whatever. And of course, the last person standing, last man or woman standing, will win a title shot and stuff like that. So the first one we had here was the women's version of the Elimination Chamber match, which consisted of Tiffany Stratton, Rhea Ripley, Alexa Bliss, Asuka, Kiana James, and Raquel Rodriguez. And real quick, the notes I have here is that Kiana James and Tiffany Stratton were the ones to start off in the actual ring, while the others were in their chambers and stuff. Tiffany did some fancy flips, and she landed on top of the chamber with Raquel in it, hitting her back. The first chamber to open was for Asuka. Kiana James just rushed right into her, starts attacking her before she could even get out of the chamber. So that's kind of cool. Asuka started grabbing her, started bashing her face against the chamber glass. Then Alexa Bliss comes out. Then Rhea Ripley comes out. Rhea picks up Tiffany and launches her into Asuka. And then Alexa leaps off the chamber and lands on everybody. Alexa's going to do the Sister Abigail on Kiana, but Asuka hits her with the mist. And during that moment, Kiana pins Alexa Bliss and then gets her out. And then Raquel is finally out of the chamber to jump in as well. Raquel picks up Rhea, drops into the ropes, but like neck first, or her throat basically bounces off the rope. We were like, ooh, when we saw that. And let me see what else here. Raquel runs and slams Kiana right through the chamber glass. She went right through the fucking thing. We were like, damn, And then she actually picks up Asuka and slams her on top of Kiana. And then, like, while they're both like in the heap, Raquel actually pins both of them and eliminates them both. So we were like, damn. So now it's just Raquel versus Rhea, I think. No, there's still some more people there. So Raquel picks up Tiffany. Rhea leaps off the chamber and tackles Raquel down, but injures her back when she lands, so now she has that handicap. Tiffany takes the chance to pin and eliminate Raquel because, again, her back is messed up. Tiffany gets on the ropes. Rhea shoves her head first into the chamber glass. My God. And then grabs and slams her with the riptide, pins her, and wins the match and everything. So now Rhea Ripley, everyone's favorite goth muscle mommy, has a title match coming up at WrestleMania. And also, one thing I kind of found out about after the match is, I missed that. I don't know how I missed that, but apparently somewhere during the match, Kiana James had a nip slip, and the fans are complaining, even though it's like, dude, it's live. You know what I mean? You can't censor it like on the fly because you're not expecting that to happen. Right. It's not like a televised rerun or whatever. So they were complaining that Kiana got the pepperonis out. So we'll see what happens. But what are your thoughts, guys?
I had a blast with this. I thought it was a great start. I thought it was a great match. I mean, with the Elimination Chamber, so this is the thing with the Elimination Chamber. It's honestly the one match to me that, like, stipulation match, I like the most. If I were to pick one type of match, it's a toss up between this or a Hell in a Cell. I love those kind of really cool cage matches. But with the Elimination Chamber, what I like the most about it is, like, the only way to win is everyone has to take an L. until there's like it's like 6 enter, 1 leaves. It's like that, like that kind of old school Coliseum thing, which I love. And this also gives the women the ability to shine in their own way. I was most impressed by Kiana James because of the fact that she doesn't really do much on television other than associate with Julia, but this helped her elevate. She has the skills. She really proved herself really well in this match. Alexa was just kind of there. I was like, okay. I was shocked. I was expecting it to be finally with like the very last 2 people to be Rhea Ripley and Raquel Rodriguez, not Tiffany Stratton, because they were kind of building a story with, Liv and all this, and Raquel and Rhea have a long history together. But the match itself, like I said, great spots, great moves. I didn't even know about the wardrobe malfunction until you mentioned it. I literally didn't.
Yeah, I just saw like the news about like 2 days later. I'm like, oh wow, that happened. I don't remember. Like I would remember something like that. I don't remember.
But the one thing I love about the Elimination Chamber is same thing I feel about with Royal Rumble. I always have the mentality, I don't know who's going to win them, but I always think of myself in the mindset of, okay, if you were to have on a poster for like WrestleMania, because WrestleMania is the biggest show they have. It's one of the biggest, probably the biggest wrestling event in the world. And then I go, okay, who would you want to see on that poster? You know what I mean? Like, that's how I see it as. So with this, I'm like, who would I want to kick Jade's ass? So I went, and I'm like, honestly, I was either rooting for Rhea or Asuka. Mostly because I want to see Asuka make her big ass tap. But that's wishful thinking. But my main one was Rhea, and I'm really happy she won it. This is actually, she makes history this year's WrestleMania. She is the first woman to have been nonstop at 7 WrestleManias in a row. And she's fought every time for a title, with a title or for a title. So she's defended the NXT. She had the NXT, the tag team, the Raw, the SmackDown, the World Women's, and now the WWE. So it's literally like all of these the World Women's is twice, and then WWE. But it's like crazy that, like, it's crazy. I mean, like, everyone tries to say, oh, it's favoritism. I'm like, no, she would not be this elevated as she is right now without the backing of what she has. This isn't like a Charlotte Flair where she's shoved down our throats. People legitimately love Rhea, and she legitimately has earned everyone's respect. What do you think, John?
I still remember her when she first appeared in it was one of those like women tournaments and things. I forgot if it was the what was it called? The Mae Young Classic? Yeah, but she was still like blonde and she had like a Dragon Ball Z vibe almost going on.
She was in both of them. Funny enough, she was in both the first and the second one. The first one she had like that kind of, like just long blonde hair, and then the second one she had like her hair short and she started wearing the leather. That's when around the time. And funny enough, fun fact about Rhea Ripley, she's talked about this. They asked her what her first tattoo she ever had. They got signed the exact same day in NXT UK and technically WWE. Her and Toni Storm got their first tattoos, and they're matching, and they're on their fingers.
Oh wow!
On their right index finger is a date that's written there, and both of them have the matching tattoos for it. So it's literally like that's both of their very first tattoos. I'm like, oh, that's cute. So fun fact there. So just wanted to pass that along. What do you think, Johnny?
I like the match. Of course, I'm not really familiar with the WWE universe, but I did like seeing Asuka. I did like seeing Tiffany, Ripley. Who's the other one? I think Alexa Bliss was pretty good as well. Yeah, Raquel Rodriguez was pretty good too as well. But I like the very beginning of the match when all the girls are like getting in the cage through the I don't know, the door thing, whatever it is called.
Mm-hmm.
Like the whole like they're in the store and they're kind of taunting each other like, oh yeah, we're gonna, all that kind of stuff. Like I like all that attitude thing going on in the very beginning of the match. And then of course, hey,
It
guess who's
appears.
here?
Hey, what's up, guys? Sorry it took so long. My chamber didn't open. It took forever. I finally got out of there.
Yeah, you have to bash Logan Paul's face through it so you could get out.
No problem, man.
So real quick, because I don't really have that much of a good memory. The only thing I did remember was Asuka was slamming what's the name of the woman? She was slamming her face on the
It was
door,
Canada
on
James,
the glass
wasn't
door.
Yeah, I think
Huh?
it was Kiana. I think she was doing it to Kiana James. Yeah.
Oh, the Kiana James. I love that scene. It's like,
Bam,
yeah.
bam, bam.
It's just fun
Yeah,
seeing how people can really like fight it all out in that type of ring. Like I don't know, I just like the whole concept.
I do
it? Yeah.
too. And you know what's crazy is you rewatch the old Elimination Chambers, and everyone goes like, "Man, it's all soft now. The way they got padding outside of there. Before it was all steel and just steel outside the ring." I'm like, "Yeah." And you know what would happen? They'd spend weeks freaking injured as hell going into more matches. Like I don't know if you guys remember the early Elimination Chambers when they would go outside the ring. It was all like steel grates. And they just slam on each, like they get thrown over the top rope, landing. You hear like right on grate, and I'm like, yeah. I'm like I always make the joke every time I see the chamber. I'm like, from the twisted mind of Eric Bischoff, because he was the one who created it. So
Mm. So William, you got here just in time with the first match, the Women's Elimination Chamber. You want to drop your thoughts on it real quick?
Okay, not really too much thoughts, just more of a question. Do they hate Tiffany Stratton that much?
Why?
Because,
I don't know. I
for the
think
vast
I think it was
majority,
just I think it was just a matter of like that. I think you know what it is. I think people thought because she came back, they just assumed she was just going to immediately win. So everyone's like, no, 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 no.
oh no, it wasn't even the factor of whether she was going to win or not. It was literally how much time she spent in the ring as opposed to like almost being part of the ring, because every other spot it was either somebody throwing her into a chamber or into the wall or into the chains. Like I think there's like maybe two spots in the entire match where she was actually in the ring. But other than that, she was just getting beat from pillar to post, like everywhere outside of the ring.
Maybe they saw her as blonde and they confused her for Charlotte. I don't know.
I don't know. Like when they opened up the chamber and Rhea Ripley came out, it did look like she had kind of a Charlotte flashback because she was on a hot tear for like a good
Yeah, she was just looking at her, and you just hear the kill wheel.
Exactly.
Oh
Like,
man.
that'd be funny if just like the next match, like Rhea ever comes out and she's fighting Tiffany Stratton, and all of a sudden she like goes into the ring, rolls back under, and then like her wrestling attire is the old like Bruce Lee yellow and black jumpsuit.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
So next match we got here is Becky Lynch, the current Intercontinental Champion, going up against AJ Lee, which that's what brought me back to WWE was AJ Lee. And so at the beginning we got little spots here and there. AJ got her in a painful looking submission move that Becky got out of, and Becky dominated the match a bit in the beginning. AJ managed to slam Becky with a jumping bulldog. That looked pretty cool. There was a tornado DDT off the ropes and a shining wizard. But despite all that stuff, Becky still kicked out. And then Becky started to expose the steel off the turnbuckle, obviously with plans to slam AJ into it sometime during the match. Becky superplexes AJ off the ropes and does an armbar on AJ, but she still gets away from that. She still avoids that. The referee notices that the padding was taken off. So while she was busy like putting the padding back on or whatever, Becky shoves AJ into the ref, tries to get her for a roll up, but AJ still kicks out. So Becky accidentally kicks the ref out, and while she's knocked out, AJ gets her in the Black Widow submission move, and Becky actually taps, but the referee doesn't see it because she's still down and out and everything. And we were saying this wouldn't have happened if we had Audrey in there, you know. But anyways, since the rep is still out, Becky gets a steel chair. Becky tries to plant AJ onto the chair with the DDT. No, actually, she does. Yeah, she does plant AJ on the chair, and she does the manhandle slam and pins her. By now, the referee is back up and everything, but by the time she gets there, AJ can still kick out. So Becky was going to slam AJ into the exposed turnbuckle, but the referee gets in there and stops. Hey, whoa, whoa, what the hell? You know, that kind of stuff. And then what happens is that it was still exposed because the referee never got to fully cover it up. So Becky charges towards AJ. AJ gets out of the way, and Becky accidentally leaps face first into the still exposed turnbuckle. And with that, AJ does the Black Widow on her, makes her tap, and AJ Lee is the brand new WWE Women's Intercontinental Champion. And of course, me and Wendy, we were all for it and everything. Because the thing is, with this event taking place in Chicago, and you know the CM Punk and AJ Lee thing, I was having doubts, and of course we'll get into that when we get into that. But I was having doubts. I was like, nah, they're gonna have them both win. That's just too much on the nose. And I'm kind of thinking, I mean, CM Punk just has to win his match because you know CM Punk is Chicago. So I was afraid, hey, AJ's gonna probably lose because one of them's got to lose. You know what I mean? So AJ won, and we were still kind of like, so does that mean that CM Punk's gonna lose in his hometown? You know, so it was kind of, we had like those thoughts. We were kind of like celebrating that she won, but also having doubts about the next match. And you know, like I said, we'll get there when we get there. One thing I do want to follow up on is, like, of course, you know, fake social media. You know, it's a work and all that stuff. But Becky had apparently some legal form or something wanting to complain against the referee because the referee, it says, interfered in her matches too many times, and this particular time it even cost her the title. She wants to, I guess, sue her or whatever. So we'll see how that plays into the story and everything. Because again, you know, people are complaining, but it's a work, guys. Chill. You know what I mean? Chill. But what are your thoughts, guys?
So for me, I loved it. I absolutely love the fact that AJ won. She's gotten way better. You could tell her training has gotten top notch as far as her abilities. She's gotten way better than she was. I really truly do not think people realize just how long it's been since AJ's had a like straight up singles match or even fought for a belt. Like, to the point where I explain this to people, I'm like, when AJ wrestled, there was no women's Hell in a Cell. There was no women's Elimination Chamber. There was never even a women's ladder match before her when she was wrestling. So I'm like, that's like the Women's Royal Rumble, like the progress that she helped create. And I explained this to my girlfriend, because my girlfriend's getting into you know, watching wrestling with me and stuff, and I was explaining her, like, it was crazy because I'm also like, this is how long it's been since AJ won a belt. This is the first time she's ever getting side plates in a like, and it was just a crazy thing to like see her get a title, you know, her beating Becky. You know, honestly, to be fair, Becky, you could tell Becky has really lost a lot of steps after she had her kid. Nothing against her having a kid. It's just, it felt like, you know, because she was when her daughter got older, she started spending more time at home. And the problem with, it's like a double-edged sword. It's like, yes, you get more time to spend at home, but you can't. It's funny you brought up the Goku, brought up that Goku thing. It's literally, she almost turned into, it's like a Gohan thing. It's all like, it's like, well, you could go to train, but you gotta study. It's like, no, well, yeah, but you're compromising your training. It's like that kind of thing. So it's kind of like that kind of feeling I feel about with Becky and a lot of these other women. I think also AJ can help elevate that belt And honestly, it's pretty obvious they're going to build up to something with her at WrestleMania.
Yeah, the one thing
As
I
long as
want
they keep,
with
as long as they keep Nikki Bella the fuck away from it, I'll be happy.
because that is the thing, though. One of the things I really wanted with AJ Lee with her return is I really wanted to face these newer generation people that weren't really around when she was around. And I guess technically speaking, Becky Lynch wasn't around. But yeah, like you said, that's not waste time with fucking Nikki Bella, which I'm afraid of because they did have a lot of matches back in the day. There could be a return to that or some bullshit, but I really hope not. And I do
Yeah.
hope that eventually AJ does become parts of Royal Rumbles and
Oh
Elimination
yeah.
Chamber, stuff like that, so she could more intermix with the Tiffany Strattons and the Kiana James and all them of the
Yeah.
world,
I want to see her have a match with like Lyra Valkyria, or her have a match with there's a lot of women I would love to see her versus Asuka. That's never happened before.
Yeah, that'd be a good
Yeah.
match.
She's never fought Asuka. She's never fought Kyrie. She's never fought. Like I'm thinking of like the roster. It's crazy how many women have never fought her. Like Rhea's never fought her either. Like half of these women, the only one I could think that's still on the active roster who actually has a history with her, other than I guess Nikki Bella, is Bailey.
Yeah.
Charlotte never even fought her.
I don't
mean,
remember when did Bailey ever wrestle AJ
Bailey's
Lee?
hugger gimmick came from AJ, so like she's the one who helped her create that character. So it's like it's kind of interesting. Like they could play off that history. I also heard a rumor, which if this is true, I'd be so happy. Which is that, and if that happens, I'm gonna blow my mind, especially if I'm gonna be there. Is that at some point AJ is going to show up after the Raw after Mania talking whether or not she wins the title or not, and then that will kick the doors in for the return of Paige. Which, if that happens, I'll be like, I'll take all my money.
Yeah, that's gonna be crazy. I think DJF will probably book some flights over there to go see that, most likely.
To go, and it's like I need to get in the car now. But no, I mean that's a whole other thing. But as far as the match itself was concerned, I liked it. I thought it was really well. You also have to factor in the fact that AJ has not had a singles match in 13 years. And
Yeah, she
considering
mentioned that in her socials too, a couple of days before the event.
yeah, considering that fact, it's so impressive how well she did. Like really, I mean, and then people go, well, yeah, but when Punk came back, he had a great match. I'm like, yeah, but he had like a stint in AEW. AJ has not been in the ring physically except for like a couple of moments in the show Heels. She hasn't actually had an actual match.
She ran women's wrestling for a while, but she never actually got in the ring or nothing.
Never got in the ring. She was on commentary, but that's the whole point. I'm saying, I'm like, I'm so happy that like I said, I got to meet her. I'm so happy I got the opportunity to see her and stuff, and I'm so happy that that the kids who grew up, the kids love her now. Like these little kids love her in the same way that I did when I first saw her. And it's cool because she has inspired so many women's wrestling. Her and Paige and all of them, like they really did change women's wrestling. Like people really don't understand how backwards ass the old school wrestling of women were. Like everything was bra and panties matches and mud wrestling and this and that.
Such good shit.
I mean, there's a reason we used to call them, unfortunately, toilet break matches because we literally
bathroom
go
break
to
match.
Bathroom break match. Yep, that's literally what they were, and that's sad. But now we're in an era where the women's matches are better than most of the men's matches. Anyway,
Yeah,
what'd you think? What'd you think, Johnny?
I like the match. It's nice to see AJ Lee back in action. I didn't really follow WWE like that in that time era when AJ Lee was in there, but I heard a lot of good things about her. So just seeing her in action, I could see why she was probably one of the greatest women's wrestlers in that time period, and even right now. And I was gonna say AEW bloopers and WWE, and Yeah, this match was very good and it was very intense. You could see there's like a lot of tension between Becky Lynch versus AJD. Like this looks like this is the match that it had to happen. They can't wait to beat each other up, and I like the suspense of the unfortunateness of the female referee getting knocked down. And that allows a lot of cheating to happen here and there, but in the end, it was so good that AJD was so able to win the match. Oh, and then one thing I forgot to mention at the very earlier match, the elimination chamber match. This match is also interesting because Rhea Ripley is gonna now fight against Jade Cargill. So that's gonna be quite a good match to see, in my opinion.
Panda.
Yeah, I like the match.
Yeah, overall it was a really good match. Just a couple of pointers that I want to bring out. For one, yeah, it was a good match, but I think a lot of the audience is just, even from over the years, they're just tired of Becky Lynch. And the only reason why I say this, and this isn't the whole, face versus heel type thing. I mean, it seems like they're legitimately tired of her. And I brought this up to Jack last night. I noticed that when AJ Lee came out, the fans were cheering and everything, and you actually heard chants and everything as she was coming to the ring. But when Becky came out, you didn't hear anything. You didn't even hear boos. It was just quiet. I'm talking like old school New Japan quiet when she was coming to the ring. Uh, like if you listen back to the audio, one thing you shouldn't actually hear is the click from the pyrotechnics as they're about to go off. You can literally hear the click from the pyros just as they're going off behind Becky, which means it was dead silent in there. I think like the fans are really just getting tired of her. I don't know whether it's just her character or her in general, but it seems like overall they're just done. Now, as far as the match goes, it was a fantastic match. It was great to see AJ Lee, and she's definitely improved. Even in that 10-year gap, like the matter of improvements from when she was gone 10 years ago to now is just amazing. And I agree with Jack. I'd like to see her, further go with against other wrestlers like Asuka, Io Sky, and everything. Because literally, if you think about it, these are the monsters that she created because she literally brought actual female wrestling to the forefront. It wasn't any more of the stupid diva gimmicks and the bra and panties and mud wrestling matches. She actually proved that yes, we have a women's division. It can be a legitimate division with legitimate wrestlers. And now here it is. She's literally coming back 10 years later to face those same monsters that she created. I'm more than happy for it. Back to the match, though. It was still a pretty good match. Referee took a couple of good bumps. It's almost like she's a professional wrestler herself. But that's for another, whole segment later. But yeah, overall, it was a good match. It was kind of suspenseful. I thought she was gonna lose it there after the ref had gotten knocked out, but when she kicked out of the DDT from the chair, I was like, okay, yeah, she's gonna win this one. Which also had me thinking the same way you did, Mark. I was like, well, if she won this, is Punk gonna lose? What's gonna happen here?
Yeah.
But,
And then the other thing, they would have booed the fucking house down if Becky won.
oh no, it's Chicago. They would have probably freaking rioted. It would have been a freaking riot. But
Yeah.
overall, good match.
And that's one of the things I was also saying back in the day. And I'm sure I said it before, either in this podcast or my older WWE podcast. Oh, you got the Liquid Death thing, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, cool. But whenever they brought in like Bailey, Sasha, Charlotte, and Becky, and they were like more, like actual wrestlers now, instead of like the divas and all them, I was like, oh man, why did AJ leave now? Like this is like when it's becoming like more like real wrestling. They got rid of the divas title. It was now actually called the women's titles. Like this is what AJ's missing out, because I knew from her interviews and stuff that she likes actual wrestling and matches and stuff, and she's like gone now. So I'm
Yeah,
glad she came back.
yeah, because well, if you know, well, the wrestling history behind it was literally because of AJ, the women's division was elevated to the point where they allowed them to actually wrestle. Because at the time when AJ was at the top of the women's division, what was WWE doing? They were pushing that Total Divas crap and all this like posh shit, and she cut this amazing. Well, it's the pipe bomb before the pipe bomb. If you ever watch it, she fucking roasts them. But the thing about it is that they kept cutting the women's TV time, like the actual wrestling, to focus more on commercials about Total Divas, and she got pissed, like legitimately. Whereas in NXT, they were slowly building a little bit of something, and so she would leave the main roster to come wrestle on NXT here and there. But the thing of it is, like, she started this whole thing on where what was it? It was literally a fuck you to Stephanie. That's how it started. It started to Stephanie going like, oh, it's women's month, and no, we should respect women. She's like, why don't you start respecting the people that work under you? Hashtag give divas a chance. And that's what jump started everyone going hashtag give divas a chance. And you start seeing it in signs in arenas, and all this shit just.
But there was the other event too. There was the other event. I don't know what was the thing, but I guess they randomly tagged Paige with Emma, and they had a match against the Bellas. And I think Emma got accidentally knocked out of the ring, and they pinned Saraya, Paige. And it was like a 3-second match. And AJ, despite no longer being with the company at that time, she still tweeted like, "Wow, guys, a 3-second match, a 3-second women's match in a 3-hour show. Hashtag give divas a chance." And that also helped,
Yeah, she started the flames of the fire, but the thing of it is, because they knew how good they were training them how to do, like, Paige and AJ were trained by women. Like, a little context with women's wrestling, even to this day, only recently, like, I don't want to say in the last 6 years, did wrestling schools actually want to train women, because they don't want to train women because they still have this weird misogynistic notion of women are delicate little flowers who cannot dare get on the top rope. Oh, what if there's no pot roast up there? What are they going to do? Like, it's like, God, you guys are idiots. And like, I remember, but that's why Booker T is so respected by women's wrestling, because he literally was like, can they take a bump? Yep. All right, get in the ring. Like, he didn't give a shit. But like I said, this is the thing is, AJ was trained by Jay Lethal, because she was dating him at the time. She was trained by Jay Lethal. Becky Lynch was trained by Finn Balor. Paige was trained by her parents. Friggin' Lita was trained in Mexico, because no one in America would train her how to wrestle. So like, all these women actually learned from legit wrestling, and they, to the point where when they started training women's wrestling in NXT, they didn't have any female trainers, because they didn't know, oh, wait, we don't know how to train women. And then it wasn't until they hired, I forgot her name. I just forgot her name. But there's a female wrestler on the indies, and she started being a head trainer, that they actually go, oh, that's how you do it. Yeah, it's like, yeah, you just do the same thing. You just just do the same thing, but a little slower. That's all. It's so stupid, but I'm like, you'd think it wouldn't be that hard, but it is, to get people to realize, like, yeah, they can learn just as quickly as the guys, if not quicker. If you give them the opportunities, the tools are there. It's just like, yeah, like, I don't know. But it's crazy that it took this long, but now women are, again, like, Evolution was the highest rated PLE they had all year last year, and it superseded the rating on every people who rated it higher than WrestleMania. And I'm like, because it was that good a show. A to Z. I literally said it was a perfect PLE. And I'm like, that's not just because of the talent. It's because it was the talent, it was the show, it was the matches. It literally had a little bit of everything for everyone. And it was like, it's like, yeah, but it didn't have any men's stars. I'm like, it didn't fucking need them. That's the point. That's the whole point. I'm like, but I'm just rambling at this point. My whole thing of it is AJ, I don't even think AJ understood what she started, but she was inspired by Lita. And like, you've seen the videos where they inspire each other. Like, you've seen like AJ when she was meeting little and she met Lita, she started crying. And then like when Roxanne Perez met AJ, she started crying. And it's just like, it's like a pattern. It happens where, you inspire the next generation to be better than you were and give the opportunities that you were. And I'm like, that's cool that it's truly like a storytelling thing of like, it's not even stories, it's just real life. I love that. And like I said, I can't wait to see what AJ's gonna do next with this title, what they're gonna do with her. Hopefully they use her proper, but time will tell. I'm just curious to see what kind of matches they're gonna have. And I'm really excited to see what she's gonna do at WrestleMania.
Yeah, we'll see who challenges her and everything.
Next up is the World Heavyweight Championship match where CM Punk defended it against Finn Balor. This was actually a rematch, technically, of the match that they had in Belfast, where it was a really, really heated match between those two originally. And unfortunately, Punk won, but it was still an amazing match, and it showed like Punk can elevate Balor, and Balor still has the ability to main event. And then this really was drawn out because AJ Styles, who's now retired, got an opportunity to fight Punk for the world title, and it was a great match. But then Finn Balor came and interfered in the match, ended the match in a no contest, leading to Punk jeopardizing the WrestleMania main event by letting him defend it against Finn Balor, and that's where we're at now. You can take it over from here, Mark.
Yeah. Oh, thanks. For the notes that we got here is that first of all, CM Punk got the big Michael Jordan style intro from the 90s Bulls era. That was pretty cool, the music and everything. I kept thinking like, where have I heard that music before? Until someone mentioned the Bulls. There we go. So some of the spots I remember here, CM Punk did a suicide dive, shoving Balor into the announcement table. He tried to do the GTS, but Balor hits him with, it's Balor, right? Balor hits him with the elbow slam. CM Punk does a flying elbow smash onto Balor. Is it Balor or Baylor? I want to pronounce it right.
Balor.
Balor. Okay. So Balor lands the coup de grace on Punk, and I was kind of like, ooh, here we go. But, Punk actually did kick out of it. Punk finally lands to go to sleep, but when Balor falls, he rolls out of the ring, so he can't get pinned, Balor does a flying drop kick. He sends CM Punk right to the barricades. We were like, damn, they just fucking blasted that shit apart. Balor tries another coup de grace, but Punk gets his foot out, so when he lands, he still got hit by the foot and everything. He gets Balor in the sharpshooter. Balor's lucky enough to grab the ropes to break it. And finally, Punk lands the GTS and he wins. And now he's going to be going up against Roman Reigns on Raw. And we'll see what happens there because I didn't get to see it. You guys can tell me the results of that. But yeah, it was a pretty good match. It was a good back and forth. And again, I was surprised because I was like, they're not going to let them win, right? Because AJ just won, or like you don't have the two Chicago representatives win in the same pay-per-view, I guess. And also when Balor landed the coup de grace, I was like, fuck, because I didn't know. I thought that move was more protected and stuff. I was surprised that he actually did kick out and everything. But yeah, so both AJ and CM Punk won, and I think they both got to pose together because they both got belts now and everything. So that was a pretty cool thing there. And yeah, so what are your thoughts, guys?
I mean, I thought the match was okay. I was actually kind of wary of the match, only due to the fact of Punk's age and like his history of injuries over the past like 5 years. So like when he got blasted through that barricade, I was just like, oh crap! I hope he's okay because I had a feeling like I know he's supposed to win this match, but I don't want anything to injure him and screw anything up. So like between him getting blasted through the barricade and then when the coup de grace was done, because there's no real like like stunty way to take the coup de grace. It's just like you just have to take that move. So, when he hit him with that, I was like, oh God, I hope he's okay. Like, it was a good match, but I was more wincing every time that CM Punk took a bump more than I was just kind of like, eh.
He was like, oh, I hope AJ doesn't want to do anything tonight.
Yeah, I think his clobbering days might have been over after
I loved the match. Because I love both these guys, especially Punk, but it was cool to see them kind of just go balls to the wall. I was literally like calling spots that happened in real time, and because like I said, I know their moveset. I love their moveset. Finn pulled out a lot of his Prince Devitt stuff from the Bullet Club, which I loved. I was kind of I was at some points I was kind of rooting for Finn, but I mean deep down I still wanted Punk to win, but I was kind of like hoping like in a weird way, like when you see like a guy do so well that you kind of wish like I it's really weird. I've been on a Yu-Gi-Oh kick. I kind of feel like Taya. It's like I wish both of them could win. Like it's like I'm not trying to be like that, but I'm also like I kind of wish Finn was also in the main event for WrestleMania in like a triple threat. Because I would love it for Finn to be honest, I would rather Finn beat the shit out of Roman Reigns, but that's me. But that's me. But I loved the match. I thought it was a great fight. Like you could see even on Raw when Punk came out, he still had the scars from the freaking match. I was like, damn, his face is all messed up. And like, I'm like, yeah, because they actually fought each other and it made him look more legitimate as champion. It made Finn look, I mean, like, watching that match, in my opinion, that made Finn main event caliber now. That's 100% sure. He has the ability to become a world champion again. And I think that should happen sooner rather than later. I don't necessarily think they'll have Punk lose the belt. Maybe he could go to SmackDown and get their belt. That would be cool. But again, that's wishful thinking. But like I said, I overall I thought it was a great match. I thought it was a great A to Z fun fight. It was also cool because it's never happened before where AJ and Punk had a title at the same time. So that was a cool image. What'd you think, Johnny?
I like the match, but pretty much like what Ninja Panda said. I mean, I did notice that CM Punk is very injured, and I was kind of worried for him in many parts of the match. I like both wrestlers, but because this is pretty much like my first time ever seeing Finn Balor,
Saw it
right?
before. Remember we watched one. It was like Balor versus. I forgot, but you've seen him before because you remember one time you saw him in his demon outfit. You're like, whoa, why is he looking like that? Because you never seen him in his demon outfit before. You've seen him, the guy.
Okay, but it's been a hot minute. It's been a long time ago since I last saw him. So just seeing him now again in the ring, I mean, this man is very, very talented. I like the way he fights and everything. So yeah, either one of them could have won the match, and I would have been happy with the match. But I still prefer CM Punk, and in Chicago. So why not? Let CM Punk win this one. And to be honest, to this day, I still get a little weirded out seeing CM Punk in WWE, and I just keep thinking about damn, Tony kind of really messed up on that one. That's all I'm going to say about it.
Yeah, I still remember whenever Johnny and I booted up that AEW Fight Forever, and we were going through the roster, and we ran into CM Punk on the roster. We're like, oh, because he stole the game and everything. But yeah. So, anyways,
sorry.
what?
I had a weird side note, and it kind of is a bit of a question towards Jack. So, all right, so Finn Balor, every once in a while when you need to focus up, you would use that alter ego known as the demon, which was kind of like the whole Great Muta thing when Yasushiro would go as Great Muta when he needed to focus up. Why has he never done that again?
Well, the last time they did it, it was at WrestleMania against Edge, and he split his skull open. So I don't know, maybe trauma. I don't know. I mean, like, I want to see them bring it back. I mean, he even said like he wouldn't mind doing it again. I think it's also because the problem is that to get the makeup on, he said it takes 10 hours. Which I'm
I would
like,
assume so. That's like a full body thing.
Yeah, because he literally has to stand in a room and then like they spray him and then they paint him and then like it's a lot of makeup. Like it's a lot of layers of makeup because then by the time because if you ever notice when he fights in the demon makeup, even after he does like long ass matches, the makeup's still on. Like, he cakes it on there. I'm like, yeah, I understand that, but I'm also like, I would still go like, yeah, I still want to see it. Like, that's why I said, I'm like, if there was ever a time for you to put on that makeup, it would have been this match. I mean, it was for a world title. But at the same time, I'm also like, I think, because it's clear based off of the storylines and the issues that's going on with, we'll bring it up once the next part we bring up, that they're trying to get Finn Balor to go go from being a heel to being a face, and they're trying to distance him out of the Judgment Day, and I believe they're going to build up a match between him and Dominic at WrestleMania. And if that's the case, I would love for the Demon to return and fight Dominic. Holy shit, I would love that. Just it's like, because he'd be like, I can take on Fan. It's like, can't take on the Demon, bitch.
Yeah.
But that's me. That's wishful thinking on my part. And if they do that, dude, the pop for the Demon Finn at WrestleMania, oh my god.
That
would go crazy. So the next thing we have is a little segment here where I guess for the last couple episodes, I haven't watched the actual shows that much. There's been like a big crate or something, and people were like, "What's in the crate?" Blah 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 blah. So now we got the crate, and Danhausen comes out with vampire women or goth women, whatever you want to call them, and they all start like dancing, doing like a big, production and whatnot and everything. And then he actually comes out with the jar of teeth and just puts it in the announcement table, and then he just goes away, I guess. And like the announcers are like, "Whoa, you think those things are real?" and all that. And then we got a commercial break, and
the crowd gave zero pop, and this is okay. And I want to get your reaction to this, Mark. So the crowd had zero pop because they legitimately, and Ninja, and you can vouch for this, Ninja. You follow the trends. They legitimately, dumbasses, thought the person in the box was going to be Jericho.
I heard
and
that.
I'm like,
they were disappointed that Jericho
really?
wasn't.
I'm like, you think Jericho is going to return in a box? Like, when has he ever come back in a box? He's always done like weird cryptic codes and shit.
Cryptic codes, loud electric jackets. Yeah,
and it's like, it's a box. It's gonna be. And also, everyone, I said to someone, I thought I was ecstatic and happy. One other little fun fact before you continue, Mark. The first girl, the Danhausen dancer, who came out was actually his wife.
Oh.
In the makeup. So, fun fact.
So Danhausen is married Hausen.
Yeah, he has a child Hausen. So, yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so, yeah, but what's so
when
funny
the child
about
came
that,
out and the hospital and stuff, the child was all like,
and everyone said the same thing online where they go, wow, I can't wait to find out in 5 to 10 years which one of these women become a world champion. And I'm like, yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. But I literally was just like, oh, okay. But my issue with it is everyone went crazy, and I said, look, it came out during a the box kept getting referenced during comedy segments. What did you think was going to be in the box that was going to be serious? Like not one point was it mentioned during his serious moments, always during goofy moments. But anyway, you go ahead, Mark. You take over.
Oh, the only thing I also found out is that, many people don't know who Danhausen is despite his stint in AEW, but I guess a lot of WWE guys don't watch AEW or follow it or whatever. Some people did comment that they were very confused. People that were actually at the event that were very confused because, like, okay, this guy comes out, dances around, and then he leaves, and I'm kind of like, okay, what was the point of that? Because he wasn't in an actual match. He didn't like cut a promo or no one jumped him, which kind of implies an upcoming match. So that was kind of confusing, I guess, for the people that have never ever heard of Danhausen. And the other thing I also want to add is that apparently one of the episodes of Raw. I forgot who was the champ that Penta got the title off because he did like a curse or something on him.
Dominic
And then,
Mysterio. He literally did a curse to Dominic Mysterio. So what happened was Danhausen came out. He was on Raw. He was introducing to Stone Cold. He said, "Oh, Steve Austin, Stone Cold." He thought the fucking GM was Stone Cold. Like, it's Steve Stone Cold Austin. And he's like, "I have some demands." And and he asked for a blimp with his face on it, a WWE Hall of Fame induction for this year, and then I forgot a manager or something like that. And then like he Adam Pearce introduced him to Dom, who was going to defend his title. And Dominic was like, he's like, "Ooh, this is very nice." Like he sees, because Dominic's the AAA Mega Champion and the Intercontinental Champion. He has not defended them in months. And then he goes, "Oh, it's very pretty. Can I have this?" Huh?
And he's an AEW champion if you go by that AI pick that they posted a while back.
Oh yeah, yeah, that was funny. But he's like, "Ooh, can I have this?" And then Dominic's, "No, this is as close as you're ever gonna get to it. You freaking weirdo." And he's all like, "Oh, he's like, "You chump." He's like insulting him, and he goes, "Oh, you want to insult me? Well, guess what? You are cursed." And then later that night, Dominic lost the Intercontinental title. And then cut to this week's SmackDown. Ever since that happened, no joke. Oh, the other thing he wanted as a demand was he wanted a photo. He's like, "I want a photo with the pointy Triple H." He wanted the famous photo. And literally after that happened on social media, Triple H posted, "Get that guy in." He said, "Get that guy in here. I don't want to get cursed." And he literally did the pose with him. And Danhausen posted the picture, and he said, Triple H said, welcome to the Showhausen," and Danhausen said, "Time to play the Gamehausen." And then cut to SmackDown. On SmackDown, he went to talk to Nick Aldis and then asked for the same demands or whatever, and he asked for a mentor. And so the mentor that he's going to get is The Miz.
oh Jesus.
And then I'm like, "That, you know what? Honestly, that's kind of a perfect combo." And he's like, "Oh, you're not gonna." He's like, "If you don't help me, I will curse you. Look at what I did to Dominic." And he's like, "Well, listen here, you." And he turns around and he's gone. He keeps doing that where he's like vanishing like Batman. And it's so funny. He's like, it's so funny how he's like turning into. He's like, I said to someone, if they played their cards right, Danhausen could be the Beetlejuice of wrestling, and I fucking love that.
Oh yeah. Now
The weird thing is that his merch is the top selling now in WWE apparently.
Yeah, because he became that popular online. Even at NXT Vengeance Day, Vic Joseph made a comment, and he said, like Booker T was being mean. He's like, "Hey, don't make me call Danhausen. I'll get him over here. He'll curse you." And he's like, "Okay, I'll stop." Well, they're fully aware of how popular he is, and people. It's so funny that I've never seen this quick a 360 in the wrestling industry. That people go from hating a guy to loving a guy that quickly.
Now, you know what would make it an even crazier pop if, let's say a couple of weeks later, Danhausen gets beat up or, Dom beats him up or something, and there's another box that shows up. Who pops out of the box? Hook.
Oh my God, I would. Hookhausen reunited. Oh my God.
Hookhausen reunited. Oh my God, the pop for that would be insane.
I want to have put Danhausen with Obafemi. There.
Oberhausen.
Oberhausen. Yes, Oberhausen. Fuck yeah. Or Femihausen. It's not like either I'm going to hurt you or he's going to hurt you. Someone's getting hurt, though. Oh, my God. Anyway, but I think the reason they brought Danhausen in is because, let's be honest, I'm not trying to be a dick here, but R-Truth is getting up there in age. He's almost 60. People don't realize how old he is. And he's not going to last much longer in the industry as far as, his health and da-da-da. We need to pass the comedy torch to somebody. And we need more comedy. And this is the thing. I have no problem. People have heard my rants about comedy and wrestling. I don't mind comedy and wrestling. I mind comedy and wrestling when it interferes with major things. Like if it actually, don't put the clown in the main event picture is all I ask. But again, sorry for cutting you off, Mark. Sorry.
All good. But hopefully, he does more stuff here than he did in AEW. I do wonder if he's going to get actual matches, though, because that was the thing. In AEW, he was still injured, so he never got to actually get in the ring. I do hope that maybe not singles matches, but like those, multi-people matches or whatever or something. But, I mean, we'll see.
Well, they seem to be pushing Miz to be his manager. So if that's the case, it seems like they are going to have him have matches. I mean, I'm assuming if it's going to be Miz being his manager, I guess that means he would be on SmackDown then, I guess. So I don't know. I mean, I could be wrong. I mean, wouldn't it be funny if he took out all of the Vision? like he takes credit for the one that took them all out. Like he's all like, you remember Braun Breaker and Bronson? That was me.
So anyways, let's get to the main event here, which is the men's elimination chamber, which consisted of Randy Orton, LA Knight, Cody Rhodes, Javon Evans, Trick Williams, and Logan Paul. And right off the bat, the ones in the actual ring started off with Cody and Javon. And the first one out of the chamber was Trick Williams. And Javon chokeslams both Cody and Trick Williams and tries to pin them both, but, they both kick out and stuff. Logan Paul gets out. LA Knight gets out afterwards. He slams Paul into he actually slams him into one of the chambers and then slams him into the other chamber. And of course, Wendy and I were cheering for that. And then Logan Paul climbs the chains, and then Javon and let me see. I remember Logan Paul climbs the chains, but then Javon also climbed up after him and stuff. And all three of them, him, Javon, and LA Knight were on top of one of the pods. And Javon and LA Knight both grab Paul and just throw his fucking ass out of there, where he lands on top of Cody and Trick Williams. And then finally, Randy Orton is the one out. Sorry?
No, I was laughing because they just yeeted his ass out.
Yep, yeet that fucker. Got my channel demonetized. Anyways, let me see here. So Randy Orton's the last one out. Javon leaps up to someone. It was too quick. We didn't see who it was. But Logan Paul takes a chance to grab him, slam him, and pin him. We were like, oh, fuck. We don't want Logan Paul, getting wins here. LA Knight goes to jump off the ropes. He stumbles. He does an elbow drop onto Randy Orton. Paul manages to pin Knight during this and eliminates him. And we were like, dude. And then he pins and eliminates Trick Williams, and we're like, okay, if this fucker wins, you know what I mean? We were starting to get kind of pissed now. So the mysterious mask guy that's been attacking, he also was in the Royal Rumble for a moment. He attacked one of the people. He comes in there, climbs into the ring, and he gets grabbed by security, but it was like a ruse. So when they're busy with that mask guy, the real mask guy shows up, and I kind of already knew, you kind of guess. He what he does here, he gets into the open door. Oh yeah, because the mask guy got in there, and while they were opening the door to get him out, the other guy gets in, and oh no, wait a minute. No, the Trick got pinned, and when they were taking Trick out, he got in there. The guy attacked Logan Paul. Cody pins and eliminates him. The mask guy turns out to be Seth Rollins. He just does like an epic little stare down with Cody and eventually leaves. I kind of had an idea with Seth Rollins because in the last one in the Royal Rumble, he did do the curb stomp on the one guy he attacked. So I was kind of like, So it wasn't that surprising for me. It was Seth Rollins, even after not watching WWE for so long. So anyways, the final two are Cody versus Randy Orton. Then Drew McIntyre, who still got some beef with Cody, comes out and cheap shots him with the title from behind. Cody starts attacking McIntyre. Randy hits him with the RKO. And yeah, I remember that they both kind of teamed up on McIntyre. But for that brief moment that they're, I guess, teaming up, Cody turns to what's his face, to Orton, just in time for the RKO. And the RKO, ain't no one getting enough from that. Cody does hit Drew with oh wow, what am I? Oh yeah. Randy got Drew with the RKO, but then all the stuff that I mentioned with Cody hitting Drew with the crossroads. But then when he turns around, Randy grabs him, does the RKO, he wins the match, and I forgot which champion he's going up against. Is it also Roman Reigns?
He's going against Drew for that title, but we'll get to that in a bit. Yeah. A lot of the things they've been building up with Randy is that after he had a fight with like Aleister Black, they are implying that they're going to turn Randy heel again and bring back
he's not heel the whole time.
No, he's been a baby face for the longest time. It's been like 4 years since he's been a villain. God. But because
some people I would just never buy as a baby face, you know what I mean?
I know, but people love him as I don't know, the fans just love his damn theme song so much they can't not hate him, I guess. I don't know. But but the thing of it is like they've been teasing it for like 2 years about him doing the punt. And I'm like, just fucking do it, man. If you're gonna do it, just fucking do it. And I'm at the point where I'm like, you know what? If the only way it's going to work is if Randy's a villain, because what he did there with Cody, it was like such a pure villain move. That's an old school Randy villain taking advantage of that shit. But I was kind of like about the men's chamber. Weirdly enough, I mean, I didn't hate it. I just thought I was like, okay. I think it was also Logan eliminating 2 people just really irked me.
Yeah, that guy, like I said, we were like, okay, if this fucker wins, we were like that.
Him beating Javon, that wasn't that. Him beating Javon, I was like, eh. But him beating Trick, I'm like, God damn it. Like, man, I was pissed about that one. But then, all the crap with Drew and then this bullshit with Seth, and I'm like, can't you just let me have one nice thing and just one good chamber without someone interfering? Like, I got the women's. I'm like, well, women's one was great comparatively, but I was like, it was really funny. I was texting my girlfriend because we were watching it, simulcasting on, we're watching it separate times. We were simulcasting it, and I literally go, "Wow, this has been a great show." ... Wonder if they'll fuck it up, and then. Chamber started. I'm like, well, didn't mean to call that, but here we are. I'm like, but yeah, no. Honestly, though, there was a bunch of good spots in the chamber. I loved LA Knight doing the BFT on the tube. That was like, like that was cool. There was a bunch of spots. I loved the the joke that went viral of like when it was Javon, Trick, and Cody beating up Logan, and it says 3 black men getting reparations. I was online. I started laughing so hard. I was like, God damn it! Like that's too good. There's that. Like I said, a lot of the spots on the chamber were really cool. Javon. Man, that kid is a dynamo. That kid is great in the ring.
Yeah, he was cool.
He's so crisp. Like every time he hits a move, that's the one thing. I don't mind high flyers, but you gotta sell it, and he sells it like so good. Him and Leon Slater, man, those kids are like, you could do a flippy dippy backflip, whatever, springboard, this, that, and the other thing. But if it doesn't matter and you get back up and do another move, like who cares? But Javon makes every move look like it hurts. But I like that because of that. And obviously, Trick has got charisma for days. His skill set is great too. Like I said, Logan Paul was the most out of place person in that whole match.
I'm like, click unsubscribe on him.
It's all like, we got We got the American Nightmare Cody. He's like the biggest star, one of the biggest stars they got. He's like, you got the legend Randy Orton. You got Javon Evans, the new up and comer high flyer. You got Trick Williams, the presence and the new aura into the WWE, and Logan, and it's an LA Knight, the megastar. And Logan. Like, it's like, that's what I feel like. I'm like, it's all like, it's like, you know how much numbers I get on YouTube? I'm like, I don't care. Randy's that kid who opens toys gets more views than you. I don't give a shit. Like, I don't give a shit. It's like, I love how he brags like, I sold a Charizard for $16 million. I'm like, it's not really a brag, dude. I don't care. Like, what? Good for you. Like, yay. I'm like, okay, it's not really an accomplishment as much as it's just you sold a thing. I'm like, okay. Anyway, but like I said, the match itself was fun. It was okay. Outcome was kind of meh. On SmackDown, though, what was so funny is after the Chamber, post-show, Nick Aldis. Okay, so here's the thing, a little backstory you have to understand. Cody lost the belt to Drew because of a Hell in a Cell, 3 Stages of Hell match. He won the belt in the third match, which was a steel cage, by escape. The reason he won that is because Jacob Fatu interfered. Before the match started, this is like a month or two ago. So it was before the Royal Rumble. I'm just explaining in detail what happened. Drew McIntyre made a contract that he would get a title opportunity. And the catch is that if Cody lost, he wouldn't get a rematch.
Mm.
So cut to the Royal Rumble. Cody needed to win the Royal Rumble to get the shot at Drew to get his belt back. And then Drew hit him and eliminated him from the match. Cut to, goes in the Elimination Chamber. Drew hits him and prevents him from winning again. And then Nick Aldis, after Elimination Chamber, gets so pissed off, and he literally goes, he's like, you're going to defend your belt against Cody on SmackDown. And he's like, oh, you can't do that. And Nick basically said, well, you went against your word in every way, so I'm going to do it too. And I'm like, that's why I made that. I saw that meme that literally said, there's not going to be any rematches, no matter what. It's like, you're going to have a rematch on SmackDown. It's like, wait a minute. You said no. You said you wouldn't do that. Why? Fuck you. That's why. Like, that's basically what it was. I was like laughing so hard. I'm like, yeah, basically. But yeah, on SmackDown, Cody had a match with Drew. It was a crazy, crazy match. Weapons here and there, tables, everything. Jacob Fatu prevented Drew McIntyre from using a chair on Cody. Cody beats Drew. Cody becomes the world champion on SmackDown, and now it's going to be Cody versus Randy Orton at WrestleMania. So that's what happened on SmackDown.
No, wow. Oh, yeah. What was it? CM Punk versus Reigns. How did that go?
That hasn't happened yet.
Oh, okay. So
That's the WrestleMania match. That's the WrestleMania match. Is Cody versus Roman at WrestleMania, and then they had that freaking epic fight on the mic between each other. And Roman literally was saying how he's like basically how they tolerate him, and he's gonna put him in. He's going to make him retire. He's going to retire him, and then he's going to force him to run NXT, where he brings up the next generation just so Roman can smoke each and every one of them, and he can watch as his dreams die. And then he tried walking away, and Punk literally grabbed his ass and like freaking smoked him on the mic and started just talking all this shit about how he's going to do all this crazy, like he basically, you're going to retire me? Well, I'm going to bury you. He literally said, like, I'm going to bury you. And he's like basically saying, you have never done a thing alone, which is true. And he's like, you keep saying, we tolerate you? What do you have, some Samoan goblins in your pockets no one knows about? He's like, you don't got cousins, you don't got friends, you don't got a tribe, you're Mr. Tribal Chief, you don't have anything. And he basically said, like, I'm gonna bury at WrestleMania, I'm not gonna beat you, I'm gonna bury you. And then you won't be alone because then I'll bury you right next to your dad. And then he walks away.
Ooh.
I was like, he pulled a Christian. I was like, he pulled a Christian.
Question: has any woman stepped up yet to like challenge AJ for the title and for WrestleMania or whatever? Or?
No, but next week they're going to be doing I think it's a gauntlet match with like 6 competitors, and the winner gets a title shot, I think, for her. I think. I know I have to hang on. Actually,
Is that Raw or SmackDown? Because I might actually watch that.
Raw. I think it's on Raw. Let me check.
So like tomorrow then, I guess, for people watching this, is this taking place on a Sunday?
Yeah, let me double check. Give me 2 seconds. Sorry.
I know who I'd like to see face her, but let's hope she's in that Rumble.
Like I said, I hope it's not the Bellas and not Becky for another rematch, because just go away for a while.
Yeah, so it's so 2 matches are slated on Raw. Oba Femi versus Rusev, that's going to be interesting. And Io, so it's a women's Intercontinental #1 contender gauntlet match with Io Sky, Bayley, Lyra Valkyria, Ivy Nile, Asuka, and Raquel Rodriguez.
My 2
honestly, she's never. I'm cool with any of them. Honestly,
yeah,
that all sounds cool.
Like, none of them are bad, but the main 2 that I want to see that I hope she they end up winning would either be Bayley, because like she influenced the hell out of Bayley, so that would literally be like master versus student in a way. Or if we just want to test her mettle, I really want to see her go up against Raquel.
I would love to see that. I also just if they use the history, I would love her versus Asuka. Because if you think about it, AJ started the women's revolution, but Asuka legitimized women's wrestling in WWE.
Very valid.
She made wrestling legitimate with her NXT run and all of her matches. Like, yeah, she solidified women's wrestling in WWE. I don't know. I mean, that's a possibility. I don't know if they'll go that route. I mean, but to be fair, her versus Lyra would be good. The only one I don't really want is Ivy. Nothing against Ivy. I'm just kind of like, eh. But her versus Io at WrestleMania would be very interesting.
Oh, dude, that would be a very interesting match.
I'm like, I don't think AJ's ever fought a high flyer. Now that I think about it, I don't think she really has.
Well, comment back then, to be honest, right?
Huh?
Wasn't that comment back then?
Yeah, it was very rare. Like, you never saw women get. I think the only woman I ever saw ever really get on the top rope frequently was maybe Molly Holly.
Molly Holly and Lita.
Yeah, but even Lita was rare. Like, Lita mostly just for moonsault. Or like for a spot to help the Hardys, but really in a match, you never saw women on the top rope, really.
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
unless you went to Mexico or Japan.
Think of any
they do that shit all the time. What?
No, I'm gonna say I can't think of any offhand, like any like high flyer, I mean, I know there's lots of female luchadoras and stuff, but not like a WWE or WCW.
Not in WWE. Not until, honestly, I really mean this sincerely, not until they started allowing luchadora style or mostly Japanese women's wrestling into WWE did it become the norm. That it was okay. It was like, oh, women could do this. It's like, yes. I'm like, it's literally like, it goes back to that misogyny thing. That's hilariously like, it's not even mean. It's just kind of like, oh, it's not. Oh, you're not sexist. You're just unaware of how the world works. It's like, I don't know if you ever heard the story about the first woman who went into space. When she first went into space, these are NASA scientists. They didn't know how that time of the month was, so they put 20,000 tampons in this fucking spaceship. And then they go, I'm only going to be up there for 2 months. And they go, so is that not enough? Or do you... What?
I mean, it
You are,
could
you
have
are
been a
rocket
real
scientists.
bad month,
I'm
bro.
like,
You know?
they're rocket scientists and they don't know how this works. I'm like, that's holy. I'm like, oh, you truly don't know. Okay, like that's it's really funny. Just in hindsight, knowing that little story, it's like they really did not know. Anyway. But
So,
what did you think of
anyways,
the show overall? I thought it was great. Honestly, I had a
yeah.
fun time with it.
Yeah, honestly, I like it. I'm starting. I mean, I don't know about watching the actual episodes, although I do want to watch tomorrow's Raw if that's what's going to happen. I am curious to. I want to actually see it, not just hear about it after the fact. I want to see who's going to challenge AJ at WrestleMania. But yeah, I do like this format. I know I complained about it back in the day when I first heard about it, but because it was like the 2 day thing. But yeah, having just 4 matches and Raw title matches and stuff like that. They're not like 3 hour. Well, they're not 5 or 6 or 10 hours long and stuff. Where you got like a 2 hour pre-show, 8 hour main show, and then you got the scrum afterwards and all that with the angry muffins or whatever. It's like, it is more refreshing and it doesn't wear out its welcome. And of course, for us, it's a good chance to get refamiliarized with the newer generation. Now, I do like that we still got some familiar faces. We still got the Randy Ortons, the Miz, Cody. I remember Drew McIntyre too and stuff like that. But yeah, I am digging the newer people. But overall, for this event, it was cool. As like you said, I was more invested in the women's elimination chamber match. The men's was cool too, but I did like the women's more. I mean, they blasted people through the fucking glass and everything. That's a bit more epic.
Yeah.
And also, just the fact that both AJ and CM Punk won, because again, that was the lingering thing throughout the night. It's like, well, AJ, I guess he's gonna lose because CM Punk just has to win. It's Chicago. It's CM Punk. Oh, AJ won, so is CM Punk gonna lose? Oh shit, they both won. Whoa, so that was like our thought process through the night and everything. But yeah, we had a blast. It was pretty cool.
Oh, the other I forgot to mention this other thing for the news story. It's nothing really crazy, but I'm like, okay, I'm not actually upset about that. So, Road Dogg is no longer a part of the writing staff
Oh, I
or
heard
the
about
production
that.
team of WWE behind the scenes. And considering how bad his writing has been, I'm kind of okay with it. But the person who's replaced him is actually the woman who's been in charge of writing a lot of the matches for the women's division. So I'm like, if she's going to be replacing him as a part of the head team, I'm like, that's a good sign. That's a good deal for me. I'll take that deal. Damn good deal.
I'll buy that.
So they're not going to bring back Bischoff and Russo.
No.
No.
We need more pinatas on a pole.
Trust me, bro. It was real wrestling, bro. That's what the fans like, bro.
It's like,
I thought that was like you exaggerating, Jack, until I saw a podcast and literally every third word was bro. And I'm like, oh, fuck, nope. Jack wasn't exaggerating.
No, I'm like, he says bro more than Hulk Hogan said the word brother. Like, legitimately. I'm like, I make that joke, but I'm like, he really, I'm like, is this like Tourette's, but instead you just say the word bro? Is it like a New Jersey thing? I don't know. Anyway, what do you think? What do you think, Johnny?
Oh, I love this match. I felt like it was all over the place in a good way. I just liked all these wrestlers, right? Orton, LA Knight, Cody Rhodes, Javon's, especially Javon's pretty good. Trick Williams. Everybody was cool except for Logan Paul. Like sometimes I feel like, why the hell is he there? To be honest, if I'm being quite honest, just couldn't wait for him to just kick out of the ring. But instead, he kicked out 2 people out of the ring. He kicked out Trick Williams and Javon Evans. So yeah, it was kind of like
But what did you think of the whole show A to Z, like from A to Z, the show?
Oh, just in general, I think I like the concept. I actually like the pay-per-view concept of having just 4 matches, but 4 really good matches. They're 4 good matches and they're interesting in their own ways. You know, they don't. It doesn't feel boring or anything, and that's the thing. I feel like lately the AEW pay-per-views they just feel a little too long sometimes.
Because the problem is here's a little behind the scenes thing. So the thing about it is the reason that pay-per-views have so many, like certain companies like AEW have so many matches, is because they want to try to cram in as much as they can, I think. But the problem is like there is such a thing as too much, and the problem is also their matches go too short and they don't feel right pacing wise. I'm a personal believer, as far as American wrestling specifically, I don't really mind it so much in Japanese style because like certain promotions like Stardom matches are usually pretty short. So I'm like, that's fine. But generally, I'm a personal believer, especially with like PLEs or pay-per-views. I think if you do it right, I think the magic number would be maybe maximum maybe 7 or 8. If you do it real, I'm talking about like a long show. If you're doing a short show, I think between 4 and 6 is a good part. But that's me. I don't know if Ninja agrees or Mark agrees, but that's me. I think like that's the right sweet spot. If you do it right, I think 4 to 6 is a good number right there.
Yeah, I do agree. Like
And
between 4 and 6 is a really good sweet spot because you have more time to digest what happened in the previous match. Like this one, we were actually able to call, more spots and remember more of what happened as opposed to, okay, well, this match happened, but I kind of fell asleep or I went to the bathroom or I don't remember the match at all. You only have 4 matches, so everything was very clear, very concise. Also, it's a benefit to the wrestlers because they're not trying to hurry up and get the match done and making a bunch of botches. They actually have more time to make it a little bit more elaborate and things more perfected. So yeah, overall, like regular PLE should be about 4, maybe 6 matches tops. I do agree with that.
now, another thing I would like to add is that I'm not like 1000% against AEW's like pay-per-views. It's just that they don't. Okay, here's the problem as well. They do have a lot of good matches here and there.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem is that they always have at least 2 to 3 matches that could have just been like a regular TV match, not
They
pay-per-view
overstuff it.
worthy.
I think they overstuff it. It's kind of like
Yeah.
it feels like an overinflated suitcase that you're kind of sitting on and trying to zip it down. I'm like, some of this can leave. Some of this can stay behind over here.
It's overdone. It's like, and then they do a lot of repeat matches as well. Like I forget who is it that they repeat a lot with?
I also think they should get rid of and this is every promotion, unless it's like I said, unless it's involving a faction. I'm a personal believer. I don't think there should ever be a need for an 8-man or 10-man or 12-man tag match ever. Like you're overdoing it. Unless, like I said, unless it's like a faction war, like a situation. Like, for God's sake, do we really need 24 people in one ring just for one match? For that's not a gauntlet match.
So I think that one of the biggest issues of the AEW is that they want to be grandiose. They're trying so hard to try to beat the competitors that now it just seems like they overdo it. Like they're overdoing it. Okay, basically right now, the AEW pay-per-views are so long and so exaggerated in so many aspects that right now the AEW pay-per-view looks like that new Archburger from McDonald's.
Yeah, basically. And not only that, and I know you've experienced this a lot, Johnny, and both Ninja and I, and hell, even Mark and Wendy experience it too, because they overstuff these cards. We need, like, not even optional, have to take notes to know what the hell happened because we forget because there's so much that happens.
Right.
And you're like, I'm like, damn, I didn't know this was gonna be a test, man. I just want to watch the show.
That too. That's what it feels like. And
there's so much shit going on that by the time you're writing down the notes about this spot, like 10 spots happened since then, you know? Like,
Not only
And I'm
that,
be honest,
and then it
because
makes it worse when we meet up several days after the fact. We're like, what happened
we're
again?
still forgetting what the hell happened. No,
It
especially
makes
if the
it
Young
worse.
Bucks are there, like their matches are always all over the place. So it's like you're really gonna forget a lot of the shit they do, anyways. But I don't know if I was allowed to swear, but either ways, that's what I think about them.
It's true.
But the thing I hate about the pay-per-view, I'm sorry if I'm interrupting.
No, you're good. You're good.
Oh, the thing I hate the most about a pay-per-view is that it is so long that especially if I'm not able to catch it live and I'm watching it on repeat due to my scheduling or whatever, even on the day that I'm watching it on repeat, I'm like, bro, I can't watch the whole fucking thing in one seating. I have to like just maybe watch half of the pay-per-view one day and then maybe watch the other half the next day. Like it's too long. It's too dragged out. And there's times that it's like I'm trying not to fall asleep here, especially if you're watching it late at night. Yeah, you're gonna
Yeah.
kind of fall asleep during some of the matches. Like I don't know, it doesn't seem to be a winning formula for AEW.
Yeah, it's true. It's you're trying to do too much. It's it's like a person who wants to plan the perfect vacation and they have to buy the pristine this, they want to make this and this and this, and then when it doesn't go exactly to plan, they basically blame everything but themselves. I'm like, maybe you overdid it. Like, accept fault in the fact that maybe you shouldn't, this should be a learning curve to learn to not do that much. Maybe pace yourself, maybe, because like not every card could be like a New Japan. Like if I go to a New Japan show or TNA show, I know I'm getting my money's worth. Like whether or not there's a lot of cards or whatever, they fill up the moments, the spots, the talent with enough to go. I know what I'm getting. With WWE, same thing. You know that you should be getting at least equal to or more than your money's worth. Granted, the ticket prices are probably the biggest issue, but other than that, but like the actual show itself is not lacking quality. Whereas with AEW, they focus so much on let's quantify rather than quality. It's quantity over quality. It's like, would you rather have a really, really nice steak with like a good mashed potato or whatever, whatever, like think of that, like go to a steakhouse and get a really nice plate, a nice meal, or would you rather get these 4 plates of full-size chicken nuggets? It's like, well, I'd rather get the meal, but look at all these nuggets. It's like, yeah, but it's like, it's kind of the equivalent of that. It's like, yeah, I mean, it's like, but we got at least 20 sauces. It's like, yeah, but you're not seeing the problem here, but it's not a matter of you giving me too many nuggets or less nuggets. It's more of a matter of you're focusing on the wrong thing rather than the quality of the thing.
Yeah, and with us being reviewers, it's kind of a pain in the neck when you have to watch a pay-per-view and then basically write cliff notes during each match.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, oh, and then remember this spot. Oh, yeah, and then I forgot about this spot, and then I forgot. I'm like, damn, because like every time we do one of these with AEW, Mark will bring up a thing. I'm like, oh yeah, that did happen.
It's like, yeah, I forgot about that. Let me go to page 32. Oh yeah, you jumped off the rope. That's right.
It's like you're doing like an exam, pretty much.
Exactly. I shouldn't be having to write a freaking like Civil War diary to watch a pay-per-view. And like, dear Margaret, I remember when Kenny Omega got on the top rope and he did 2 somersaults. Like, it's like, no, I don't.
Yeah, it's like, personally, thank God we get an extra day sometimes because it's like, well, all right, guys. I mean, I want to do this podcast, but I'm gonna have to study the night before.
Right. What do you think, Mark? What is your feeling on this compared to like our normal format?
Like I said, it's less matches to remember and less like spots to remember and stuff. So it's just easier because sometimes, like for example, this event here was only 4 matches, and there's been times in AEW where the pre-show is 4 matches, and the actual show didn't even start. You already got like 4 matches with the with all them people
And not even
stuff.
that's not even mentioning the backstage segments. Oh my god, that adds an extra hour to 2 hours worth of stuff. I'm like, we split these things into multi hours. It's like it's crazy.
And
But
there's
no,
another thing I also want to add up to the pay-per-view, the AEW's 8 hours, 10 hours long pay-per-views is I personally don't think that they don't have the need to make these pay-per-views so long because they do so many pay-per-views consecutively that there's no need to make them that long. They could actually do this format. They could actually do the 4 to 6 matches
Yeah.
because if you want more matches, hey, just watch the next pay-per-view and that actually would work out better in their favor.
Yeah.
Instead of them doing a 10-hour, 20-hour long pay-per-view, and then, oh shit, in another month or two, there's going to be another pay-per-view with 20 matches, and then another one, and then, oh, this pay-per-view in Australia, this pay-per-view
Yeah.
in London, and in Chicago, and it's like, it's too much.
It is too
now, one
much.
thing is that Wendy and I have been inviting our buddies to come over and watch the wrestling with us, but so far it's only been AEW ones and stuff. We haven't had a time to do the scheduling and whatever. We haven't really invited them over yet for one of these WWE PLE ones. Because even I said I don't want to watch all of them. I want to watch the ones that have AJ in them and stuff like that. But the
Cool.
thing is, if we do one of these and invite friends over, I bet you they're so used to the AEW ones that when you see this, like after the fourth match is over, they're like, "Whoa, that's it? It's not midnight yet. It's over." You know, that kind
Yeah,
of
we
thing.
can
Because they're
hang
so
out.
used to how long the other ones are.
Hey, you know what? You're the video game master. You can whip out some video games and they can kill time there too. There you
Oh
go.
God, there we go. Some Street Fighter 6. But yeah, so overall it's a good thing and we're gonna see what's happening. I do want to see Raw tomorrow as of filming today, Sunday. I want to see Raw tomorrow and see which one is gonna challenge AJ Lee for the title in WrestleMania. And for WWE, I'm not sure what other ones they might have before
The next big
WrestleMania.
show is WrestleMania, and then the only they just did NXT Vengeance Day, and then the next one is NXT Stand and Deliver. But the next big show is WrestleMania, and it is 2 nights. But I think
Definitely.
based off of last year, it was I think collectively 12 matches or 13 matches for over 2 nights. Which is like, okay, so I think like one was 6 matches and one was 7 matches. And so far, the only confirmed matches are Punk Roman, Liv Morgan versus Stephanie Vaquer, which that's going to be an interesting match.
Ooh, that's gonna
Yes.
be a good one.
Yeah, because Liv Morgan won the Royal Rumble, so she chose Stephanie Vaquer. Jade Cargill versus Rhea, now that we know that, for the Chamber. And Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton for the WWE Undisputed Champion. And yeah, so far that's the 4 main ones, but a
Then
lot of the
AJ
other
versus
stuff
whoever wins tomorrow's gauntlet match.
we can assume. I'm not, like I said, nothing is 100% because like the next couple weeks, because it's currently it's currently the beginning of March, so they have only a couple weeks to build up that card. So we're not really sure what the next card. We know I can list off the other major titles. I know there's the United States Championship, who Carmelo Hayes has been doing an open challenge every week, which has been really fun. Getting him to see him wrestle different talent. The U.S. title, there's the Intercontinental title, who's now Penta, so that's cool. Let's see. There's the Tag Team Championships on Raw and the Tag Team Championships on SmackDown. SmackDown's currently the MFTs, which are Solo's group, aka the former Gorillas of Destiny. And then I forgot who the Raw one is. I totally forgot who the Raw tag champs are. But yeah, so far those are the main ones. And then you might have 1 or 2 grudge matches here and there. Also Brock Lesnar is trying to preemptively book a match for Brock to fight. He keeps trying to invite someone to fight him at WrestleMania. So basically insert match there. A lot of people are going to speculate and believe it's going to be most likely Oba Femi, which if Oba beats Lesnar clean at Mania, I will be so beyond happy. I think everyone will be. Yeah, right now. Let's see. Julia is the U.S. Women's Champion, so there's that, and AJ Lee is the Intercontinental Women's Champion. So I don't know what they're going to do with those belts. Right now, Nia Jax and Lash Legend are the women's tag team titles. Although I don't know if those will necessarily be on the show or not. These are just all the titles. So those are options of things they could do. AJ most likely, obviously, they're going to have her defend her belt at Mania. The Intercontinental, assume, is going to be at Mania. It's been at every Mania. And U.S. title will most likely be at Mania, too. But I don't really know any of the other matches. So we're still kind of up in the air. But I figured, like, once we get a finalized card, maybe we could do predictions or something. And,
Yeah, we can do a predictions video, depending on what's going on in the world at those times. But yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yep.
Yeah, that one, I want to see how we're gonna do that one though, because the notes and stuff, because it's gonna be 2 nights and all that. But guess we'll see.
Yeah, we'll figure
2
it out.
nights you got to commit to set aside to watch. Because basically you're watching 2 pay-per-views one night after the other. So like, we'll see how that goes, scheduling wise and all that. But yeah, we'll check it out. So anyways, guys, I think it wraps up this episode of the Diving Cutter Wrestling Podcast, which is of course America's #1 cure for lasagna. If you guys are having sleep deprivation, the shakes, all that kind of stuff, watch our podcast. It'll knock you right out, especially when we're talking about AEW. And we do warn not to be driving or operating any heavy machinery while listening to our podcast. So signing off here, this is Mark Rodriguez.
William White, aka Ninja Panda 1980, fresh out of the Elimination Chamber.
Jack Knives from Jack Knives Reviews, signing out.
Johnny Rodriguez.
Yep, the one and only Johnny Rodriguez with the ramen shirt. So anyways, guys, see y'all next time.